know if, oh, looks like we have some people starting to join the live there. So today we're going to do a little silly test there. I know that the power for those Dewalt chainsaw and Ryobi are not super comparable, but my buddy from work let me borrow his Dewalt chainsaw, and I'm going to, before I return it, I want to do one last little test. So I reviewed it the other day, and today we're going to take it and go against the Ryobi chainsaw and do some cut in the slag here and see which one might be the fastest, which one goes the best. So, but this one here is the Dewalt Flex Volt. So the Flex Volt batteries, or those batteries right here, and what's happening is they go from 20 volt, depending which tool you're using, up to 60 volts. So when you're using a chainsaw like this, that's going to give 60 volt of power. The way it works is that the battery switch internally from 20 volt is the 5 cell in series, 3 sets of 5 cell, and it gives you your 20 volt. And then it's going to switch to 20 cells in series, it's going to switch to 15 cells in series to give you your 60 volt. But now the amp is going to drop when you do that. So this is a 6 amp hour battery, but that's only at the 20 volt mark. So when you're using it with a tool that is 60 volt, it's actually going to drop down to 2 amp hour. So now this is the chainsaw that we're going to use. Model number is DCCS670. A positive troll. Yeah, it's about tools. It's a ToolSpec channel. So this is what I do. Usually I review tools on this channel, or I do some mechanic work. All right, now the Ryobi chainsaw is at 18 volt. I don't have a 40 volt right now, so 40 volt might have been a little bit more power with this one, but I find that when I use the 18 volt and some chainsaw comparison, 40 volt against 18 volt last summer, they were pretty similar in power. Actually, I even find that the 18 volt, I like it better because it's smaller, more maneuverable, and yeah, that was pretty good. So for this one, what I have here, because like I said, the Dewalt one's gonna drop to 2 amp hour when it goes to 60 volt. So I got the 2 amp hour battery to put in the Ryobi. Also got the Ryobi Hedge. It's the 4 amp hour. And this one, when I did the test, if you guys saw the video about the impact gun that I used, the impact wrench, this is very comparable to a 6 amp hour battery, but it's actually giving you a little bit more power. And then we also have a 6 amp hour battery to do some cut. And we have the big boy, the 12 amp hour. Now I figured that we could probably handle the 12 amp hour with the Ryobi against the Dewalt battery, being the Dewalt is going to be 60 volt. So let's give a little advantage to our Ryobi chainsaw by giving it a little bit more juice. So we're going to start with the 2 amp hour. Now, I don't have a timer on me, so you guys are going to have to let me know how long it takes to cut through the slug here. So the slug is about 8 inch, 6 to 8 inch. I think it's 6 inch this way and then 8 inch that way. So let's do our first cut. Actually, it's struggling quite a bit. This is the first time I used this with that small of a battery. Now, we're just gonna compare it to the Dewalt one, and you guys see it's way more power for if you go 2 amp hour. Maybe I'll put glasses on. Let's take the guard off. It's gonna work way better. Oh, my battery is not clicking. There we go. Well, I'm not quite sure what's happening here because when I press on the battery dial, I have 3 light. Tested it the other day. I had no problem with it. Well, that's gonna stop that live stream in a hurry. Eh? Yeah, I got power. Everything is good with it. Oh, you know what? I forget about this. The Dewalt, the Ryobi one, the guard at front don't do nothing. But the Dewalt one, to reset the chainsaw, you actually have to click this. You heard the click here. Now it's gonna work. Yeah, that's your guard for if you hit something and it like go against you and jam up against something, then it's gonna stop the blade from turning so you don't hurt yourself. Oh, that's why they have this. Completely forget about it because that's not my chainsaw. I'm not used to it. All right, so let's do our cut. Can hear the power already. Turns way faster. All right, so I'm pretty sure that the Dewalt win for this test with that compared to the 2 amp hour Ryobi battery, the 18 volt. So let's put their 4 amp hour 4 amp hour edge, Ryobi edge. This one will give us lots of power. It already sounds a little bit faster. So let's do our first cut with this. So with the Ryobi hedge battery, that was way faster than their 2 amp hour, but like you saw, it was still not as fast as the 60 volt. So we're going to hop our battery here and take our 6 amp hour battery. And the test that I did before, like I said, with other tools, the hedge is actually a little bit stronger than this. So we're going to do a 6 amp hour, and then we're going to go to the 12 amp hour and see the difference for it. So maybe we should do another cut with that Dewalt one first, so we can still compare. I don't know if any of you guys keep track of time, but let me know in the comment if you're timing this. Just gonna position myself here. It's very fast. I can't wait to ride a 12 amp hour on the Ryobi one. See if it ends up speeding things up a little bit. All right, ready and go. So to me it seems similar at the Ryobi edge here. What do you guys think? 6 amp hour compared to the Ryobi edge. Similar, not similar? So that's our 2 battery. You can see the size comparison, because this one's actually the size of 4 amp hour, a little bit thicker than a regular HP 4 amp hour, but it's smaller than the 6 amp hour. And this is because they're using bigger cell, the cell technology, and this is it's way better cell than those one. Those one are the 1800 or 18,000 cell. Those one are the 27. So yeah, way bigger cell, and they're actually using the technology of the battery at the end is folded instead of having a line to bring your power to the top of the cell, and it's just folded. Then it brings the power way quicker to the end of the cell. That's why you get more power with this. Now, I'm going to do a video about that because it's a little bit complicated to just say it like this, but you know, it's better if I can show you guys some picture or drawing about this. Let's put our 12 amp hour battery. So now keep in mind, this blade here has been replaced last summer. I did some video about it, but yeah, this year, so it's been cutting a few trees since then, and this chainsaw is about 2 or 3 years old, while the Dewalt one is actually brand new. My buddy just bought it on a deal. He couldn't pass it because they had a super good sale at the store, and he hasn't used it yet. He doesn't really need it. He doesn't have that much trees in his backyard and stuff. So so yeah, you know, anyway. So we're testing it before he even does. All right, so now let's do the 12 amp hour and see what's happening. If you have questions, then just let me know. I'm trying to read the chat in the same time. Well, let's refresh our memory first before we do the 12 amp hour with the Ryobi one. We're gonna do one more cut with the Dewalt. This one actually cut like nice and straight. I love it. I got lots of the Ryobi platform series of tool there, so I'm not gonna really jump into the Dewalt series right now, but so I'll stick with Ryobi and keep collecting those tools right now. But I really enjoy being able to test it. All right, so 12 amp hour Ryobi. We're gonna move this, give us a little bit more room for the cut. I'm set up at the bad spot because behind this foot here is big root on the ground, so that's why you're seeing me like moving step a few times. Okay. All right, let's try the 12 amp hour. 1, 2, 3, and go. So it was a little bit faster than our Ryobi Edge and our 6 amp hour with this battery. Pretty happy with this. And then I was able to actually push the chainsaw a little bit, give it some extra speed in there. It didn't try to stall, especially compared to the 2 amp hour. Man, that one just struggled big time to go through that lag. But yeah. So for 12 amp hour, it's kind of what you need for those little chainsaw there, the 18 volt, if that's what you're going to stick with. Any question? No? Maybe we should continue to do some more cuts with this thing. Now the battery's still full with this. We can do like maybe how many cuts we can see if we can finish this lag here. We got tons of other lags to do anyway, but well, to do. I don't have to do this. It's kind of like It's just giving me some starter wood out of this for when we use the fireplace in the backyard. But anyway, I thought that was some cool little tests there. So I'll do one more cut, and if you guys don't have any question, then we'll wrap up this live stream. So I'll do the Dewalt again. Man, this thing has so much power. It's amazing. All right, well, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you in the next video. Join the channel if you're interested in knowing a little bit more about other tools or doing some tests like this. It was nice to see you, and I'll see you in the next video.